Hope everybody had a happy holiday, and now we talk Colonel Sports. We'll begin with football, followed by basketball. Mark Elder is here, and we're here earlier than normal because we have a new early signing period. So 13 signed from 7 different states. 24/7 Sports ranked it the 5th best signing class in FCS. So how's the coach? Pleased?
Very pleased. Yeah, we're very targeted as far as who we were going to go after and the caliber of player that we wanted to attract here to EKU, and started that process obviously early. I mean, we're starting that process a year in advance, and worked very hard to get these guys on campus and build relationships with the guys, and we feel really good about the 13 guys that we signed in this early signing period.
4 offensive linemen, a needed area, always a tough area to fill and to mature into guys that are going to play for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel really good about the O-line class. Signed 4 guys there, 2 big, long, athletic offensive tackles that we think have very bright futures here. They have the size, the length, and the foot quickness that you're looking for those tackle positions, certainly. And then a couple really strong, powerful inside guys that will be people movers, and I think are going to be very, very good players in this conference.
You had a couple of tight ends as well signed, one from a junior college, one from a high school over on defense, 1 defensive lineman and 3 defensive backs.
Yes, the tight end position, we signed 2 guys there. We were excited to have an upperclassman come in to spread out the years amongst the tight ends, and then feel really good about Zaire. He's a developmental guy, but is a really talented young man with good length and size capability. Defensive back was a big area for us this year, and we're still not done there. We're going to sign another guy there, but yeah, we signed 3 guys that we think are going to be very good players. All of them are guys that have a wide variety of skill sets. Could be safeties, could be corners. That we feel very, very good about. And then Kenny Terry, the defensive end, he's a very good pass rusher, outstanding young man from a great family. So I feel really good about that pickup as well.
You have a 6'4" wide receiver and a quarterback from Tennessee, and Parker McKinney, who was the single A Mr. Football down in the Volunteer State.
Yeah, Parker put up huge numbers in high school. He was 2 touchdowns shy of setting the all-time record in Tennessee for touchdowns accounted for on offense, and he put up huge numbers there, was very, very productive. He's a dual-threat guy. He can throw. He's got a very, very strong arm. He's athletic. He played safety there, had a bunch of interceptions. So he's really the mode of what we're looking for, a guy that can make all the throws, can do what we want to do in the passing game, but he adds an element in the run game where we can run him or do zone read, quarterback, running back read type of stuff as well. So we're excited about that. And Caleb's a matchup issue. He's a tall receiver with very good hands, good body control. So a guy with his height and length and ball skills, he'll present a lot of problems in this conference.
And going to keep the tradition going, an Australian punter.
Absolutely. So obviously there's been a great run of punters from Australia here. For 8 straight years, we've had Jordan Berry for 4, and then Keith these past 4. Jordan's obviously having a great career in the NFL now with the Steelers, and we're very hopeful that Keith will follow along those footsteps and have an opportunity to play at the next level as well. He's first-team All-American, our 59th first-team All-American. So we wanted to keep that going. And so there's a guy over there in Australia that trains those guys. That's where both Jordan and Keith came from. And so we signed up another guy from Australia and look to keep that string going.
Well, your early signing period is over. Now you go into a spring signing period, a little holiday with the family for you and the coaches. Now back to work. What about now the second signing period? Does it change the focus, the way you recruit compared to where you were in the past where there was just one signing period?
Well, yeah, this is obviously new for everybody, and it's very, very different than what's been done in the past because there was D-Day. There was one day, and you're always nervous because these 13 signees, they would have been committed under the old rules, and being paranoid like every football coach is in the country, you would go and see those 13 guys every single week. You'd have uncomfortable home visits where you're sitting there and they're wondering why you're there again for the 4th or 5th time and so forth. But what's great is that those guys are signed, sealed, delivered, and it's done. And they found their home. We found guys that we think are going to be great players for us. And now we can really narrow our focus to the handful of guys that we have left at the positions that we're still recruiting. So we're going to be very focused these next handful of weeks as far as we have a very limited number of guys that we're recruiting at this point in time, and we're going to really narrow in on those guys and spend a ton of time trying to continue to build those relationships and continue to persuade them to EKU.
When spring ball start?
Haven't gotten that far yet. I'm
That's
not
good.
remember off the top of my head. Right now, I've been worried about the second signing period, and then really our focus is on the guys coming back and training. So I know spring ball is around the corner, but those are our two focuses right now: is signing day for the second one, and then our training. We got to have major development this offseason.
Okay, thanks, Mark. It's good to see you.
Thanks, Stotts.
All right, when we come back here on Inside EKU Sports, we'll turn our attention to the inside sport, basketball.
Every day is a concept that few people can commit to. Every day requires a level of dedication that forces you to test your limits.
Every day I'll give back to the community because I draw strength from their support. Every day the sounds of your cheers will echo through my mind. Knowing that you have my back means I can always look forward.
Every day I'll be too tired to sweat and my bones will ache. Every day will provide me with the slight edge that I need to succeed. Champions are built every day.
At EKU, you'll learn to take a broader view of your world. But we also understand it's the details that shape the big picture. So go ahead, play with fire, think on your feet, or touch the sky. Here, you'll be a part of something new, something big, something beautiful. Be a colonel. Your time is now.
Hitting high and deep.
Back of the end zone. Brown got it.
Moore drives inside, put it up.
This one swung and missed it.
Now Smith again, block, point, Tech.
Nice turnaround by Johnson.
Near post.
Kick in.
Any place, anytime. Find it here. The OBC Digital Network.
The EKU women's team gets a win on the road in OVC play over Tennessee Tech, 76-68. Chrissy Roberts here to talk about it. A good win. You raced out to a big lead in the first quarter, built it to 24, had to hang on at the end, but I thought your team played well down in Cookeville.
It was a great win for us. It's always tough to play at Tech. And, you know, a lot of young teams in the league. Kim does a great job, but I was pleased at how we started the game. Started strong. Hopefully we can get to where we're finishing strong as well.
Queen Hayes, your transfer from Mississippi, named OVC Newcomer of the Week for the third time this season. She had 20 at Tech, played really well after foul trouble at Jacksonville State 2 days earlier. She did. Hopefully we can find some consistency with her. I know she's tough on herself. She misses some shots. She gets down on herself, but played well. She played well. Abby Wright played well for us, knocked down some threes. Yeah, career high 22 for Abby, 6 rebounds.
Big time. Hopefully we can keep those two going and get a lot more on board.
It was good to see Madison Pierce take 3 charges. I mean, taking a charge in a game makes the coach happy. She took 3 big ones.
She does that well. She does not have a problem sacrificing herself, and they're big in a game like that.
Are you starting to feel like you have the combinations you want on the court? I know a couple of players still sitting out with injuries, but are you focusing in now, or is that still a work in progress? It's still a work in progress. You know, we had a freshman to play 26 minutes, and Terry Goodlett. I thought she played well, and you know, she's been out sick, so we won't see her against you know, our next opponent, SIUE, but we're still trying to figure that out. It is the state of Illinois on this homestand this weekend, Thursday, as you mentioned, the Cougars, followed by the Panthers of EIU, who have struggled the last couple of years. And it's always good to protect your home court turf. What's it going to take to win on the hardwood at Alumni?
You know, we always say, you know, compete, but really focus on the little things and do those consistently, and play as a team. I felt like the first 2.5 quarters against Tech, we played as a team, struggled late against Tech, but just start strong, finish strong.
The home court games, do you see them differently than you do a road game, or is a game when you get in conference play?
I think a game is a game, but we always talk about protecting our home. The good thing is, you know, home games, we have our fans behind us, and that's always a plus. It's always good to have that sixth man. We appreciate them. But it's conference time, and teams are going to come out. You know, nobody wants to lose, so we know it's going to be a fight from start to finish.
All right, Chrissy, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. Thank you.
Chrissy Roberts talking with us as the women take on SIU Edwardsville. 5:30 tip at the Coliseum on Thursday, followed by a 1 o'clock tip against Eastern Illinois on Saturday. When we come back, we'll talk to one of the players on the men's team, Dillon Avare, when Inside EKU Sports continues.
We are more than just athletes. We inspire scholars. We inspire leaders. We inspire champions. We inspire family. This is the Ohio Valley Conference.
Welcome back to the show. Dillon Avare is a graduate student on the EKU men's basketball team at a big homestand coming up. I looked at it, 11 different players have started, and only you and Nick Mayo have played every game. So it has been a season where consistency on the court has been tough to gather.
Yeah, that's our theme for the year, is definitely consistency, from going hard in practice to obviously going hard in games and even just getting everybody to play. That's definitely the theme for the year.
When you started out this season, you weren't shooting what we come to expect. You were 4 of 20 over the first half of what we played, and since then you're at 50%, really shooting the ball well.
Yeah, it was definitely a slow start for me, especially the first couple games. I think 0 for 5 the first game, but Coach Whalen's really been working on me, and Coach Gaines, about using my legs a lot. So I've been trying to do that, and it seems to be working. So.
You are a quick release shooter. How did you develop your shooting style? Because I wouldn't call it a normal style, something you see. It's a little different.
Yeah, it's more of a push shot, I guess, but I've just always shot on the gun a lot, and I usually do it to a pretty quick increment. So I guess I get it off fast because I know the ball's going to be coming really soon. So if I don't, then I'm just going to get hit with the ball.
You played high school basketball at Lexington Catholic and then were a walk-on at Louisville. You graduated with a 3.9 GPA in 3 years. How did you balance basketball and academics so quickly to get your degree?
One thing, I definitely say I have a pretty good time management, but study hall honestly is really beneficial. A lot of people, even on the team this year, don't really see that, but I'm trying to tell them that it's good to have a block of time that you have to get your homework done. And if you don't have it outside of that, you just got to keep working out, and then you have to find time for it because everything's important with school and basketball.
Now getting your master's in sports administration at EKU, and it looks like you want to combine, as we talk, sports and business together. I know you have an internship going as well, so tell us about that, and then in the future, where you think you're headed, Dillon.
Yeah, so there's an internship next semester that I'm going to do that's called eCoach, and it's a basketball app that has a partnership with the NBA Coaches Association, where each coach has to give a little a workout through this app to people who want to buy it through subscription, and it's all things from pick and roll to ball handling to shooting, every aspect of the game. And the company has a deal with the Pistons too, so I'll be able to work with them hopefully and meet a bunch of those staff and everything. And so it gets the both side of economics, which was my undergrad, and the sports administration, which is graduate, all together.
I will suffice it to say that listening to the public address announcers at games, they probably mispronounced your name more than any Colonel in the almost 40 years I've been doing the games. They want to say Avare. What's the origins of Avare? You were telling me an interesting story.
Well, so my great-grandfather came over from Italy to the USA, and he didn't speak any English, so when they asked him what his last name was, he only could say the town he was from, which was something like Avare or Avaro, something like that. And so they just threw an E on the end of the name and said, we'll just say it Avare. That's the American way, so here's your name, Avare. So there's no other Avars besides us.
And that's the rest of the story as far as Avare, not Avare, PA announcers.
Yeah, there you
Avare.
go. Avare.
Big homestand against two schools from the state of Illinois after most teams, except for Belmont, that were on the road lost their first two games, including the Colonels.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously didn't get the start that we wanted to, but these two games are huge for us no matter if we were playing Belmont or when we got these games. We just have to go out, like we say, in consistency, play hard, go with the scouting report, and we should be fine. Get
All
2
right,
wins.
bomb in those threes, and good luck against both the Cougars and the Panthers this weekend.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Dillon Avare with us here. And so here is what's going to happen. A doubleheader on Thursday. That is the SIUE games. The women play at 5:30, the men at 8 o'clock, and then on Saturday, flip it around. The women play Eastern Illinois at 1, and the men take on the Panthers at 4. We'll have all your coverage at EKUSports.com, also with the TuneIn app, the OVC Digital Network as well. You can catch the men at 100.7 FM and the women at 1340 AM. And that does it for another edition of Inside EKU Sports. You can follow Colonel Athletics wherever you are. Like and follow our channels on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you back here again next week.